welcome to the Bible But Not Boring podcast. We have been doing this for a decent amount of time now.
How long has it been?
Well, the time I recorded the first episode was around in January.
No way.
It was in January.
Really?
It might have been in March. And we didn't release it till July. My goal was to release it around May, but a lot of stuff happened. And I didn't end up releasing it until June 20-something.
Yeah, it's good to have a couple in the bank.
Yeah, I always had 3 in the bank. Right now I have 1 in the bank. And the Esther series is officially here though.
Esther.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because I have some people from around the world that are listening to my podcast. And it was crazy because I was looking at my statistics and I have people in Russia, Sweden, and Canada that listen to my podcast.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Maybe they thought you spoke Russian.
I don't.
And then they were sad. They're like, oh, this is not Russian.
Maybe. But more, sensibly, maybe they listen to, it says 2% in each of these. I have 94% America, 2% Sweden, 2% Russian, and 2% Canadian.
Interesting.
And I'm thinking maybe somebody listened to 60 seconds of my thing from somewhere.
Yeah, you don't know.
It's weird that I know what city they live in, though.
Yeah, it's a little interesting, huh?
Yeah. Ah, man. Yeah. So yeah, that's something.
Yep.
So today we are introducing a bad guy.
I'm a bad guy.
No, we're introducing Haman.
Boo!
Boo! Yeah. Not a good guy. But today we are going to discover why Haman was actually a bad guy. It wasn't just because Haman was he actually has some pretty insane background history.
Really?
That really explains why he did what he did.
I've heard some of it, but maybe you'll refresh my memory with this episode.
Hopefully. Well, welcome to Bible Not Boring, everybody. Thank you for everybody who listens. We have 14 followers now.
Woo!
14 followers on Instagram and 14 followers on Spotify. So that's pretty good.
All right.
I mean, when you follow, it goes to your library. So yeah, we're getting somewhere. Honestly, I feel like we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks to everybody who added me to your library. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Well, anything you would like to say before we introduce Haman?
Boo.
Do you have anything to say?
I don't have much to say about Haman.
No, do you have anything to say about
You're supposed to boo when I say it.
Oh, boo! There's also another tradition in Haman with Haman, where when someone says Haman, someone will yell so loud and cover up its name. Cover up Haman's name. It's I'm watching a Tom Bradford episode where he's and he says Haman, and somebody in the background just yells really loud, and he's like, I saw that one coming, and everybody laughs. I was really confused before I knew that.
I wonder. Oh, not I wonder. Remember Haman hats? Those are super tasty.
Oh
Remember
my gosh,
those?
I love Haman hats.
Hamantaschen? Is that what it's called?
Hamantaschen, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they're lemon flavored cookie dough, and inside is some type of
jelly or something?
Jelly.
Right?
Oh my gosh, I love them. I was crazy for them. I missed that. We have to make them.
What did we make those for Purim or something?
Yeah, Purim. We have to make them for Purim this year, okay?
Well, the thing is that you can make them any time of the year.
Yeah, we could. You know what?
You gotta go get in the kitchen.
Yeah. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. We had some of the...
Hey, man. How you doing?
Hey, man.
Boo. Get started?
Yeah, let's get started. Alright. So I'm just going to read through the whole thing. It's 15 verses.
Yeah, Esther has really short chapters.
Yeah. but very interesting ones. So, yeah. Let's get started.
Okay.
Sometime later, King Ahasuerus, or Xerxes, began to single out Haman,
Boo.
the son of Hammedatha the Agagite, for advance. Wait, what?
I zoned out for a second and I heard son of Hamadata Habata. And it just sounded like you made something up. That's why the Bible is not boring. Thank you.
So, eventually, he gave him precedence over all his fellow officers. All the king's servants at the king's gate would kneel and bow before Haman.
Boo!
Boo! Because the king had so ordered, but Mordecai would neither kneel nor bow down to him. Mm-hmm. The king's servants at the king's gate asked Mordecai, asked Mordecai, why don't you obey the king's order? But after they had confronted him a number of times without paying any attention to them, they told Haman in order to find out whether Mordecai's explanation that he was a Jew would suffice to justify his bowing down to him.
Interesting.
However, on learning what people Mordecai belonged to, it seemed to him a waste to lay hands on Mordecai alone. Rather, he decided to destroy all of Mordecai's people, the Jews, throughout the whole of King Ahasuerus' kingdom, which, remember, is like 90 to 95% of the Jews.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Boo.
I don't say, okay, well, actually, I'm going to correct myself. I'm going to stop saying Jews. It's Israelites. Okay. So, quick correction there. In the first month, the month of Nisan, in the 12th year of Ahasuerus' reign, they began throwing pour, that is, they cast lots, before Haman every day, and they began, every day and every month until the 12th month, which is the month of Adar. Then Haman said to Ahasuerus, okay, that's enough for now, okay? There is a particular people scattered and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of your kingdom. Their laws are different from those of every other people. Moreover, they don't observe the king's laws. It doesn't befit the king to tolerate them. If it pleases the king, have a decree written for their destruction, and I will hand over 330 tons of silver to the officials in charge of the king's affairs to deposit in the royal treasury. The must be busted. They can't be trusted. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
If you watch the Esther version of VeggieTales, he says that Haman goes to the king and says that. Sings a little song.
So I've seen it, but I don't remember it. It's been a long time.
All right. The king took his signet ring from his hand and gave it to Haman,
Boo!
the son of Hammedatha the Agagite. There it is again.
Hammedatha the Agagite.
All right. The enemy of the Jews. The king said to Haman, the money is given to you and the people to do with as seems good to you. The king's secretaries were summoned on the 13th day of the first month. They wrote down all orders to the king's army commander and governors in all provinces and the officials of every people to each provinces and its own script, and to each people in their own language. That's a hefty sentence, but basically writing it to everybody in everybody's language in all of the provinces is what are basically like districts. So,
hey man,
how you doing? Everything was written in the name of King Ahasuerus and sealed with the king's signet ring. Letters were sent to the by the courtier of the royal provinces to destroy and exterminate all the Israelites from young to old, including small children and women, on a specific day, the 13th day of the 12th month, the month of Adar, and to seize their good as plunder. A copy of the document to be issued as a decree in every province was to be publicly proclaimed to all the people so that they would be ready for that day. At the king's orders, the runners went out quickly, and the decree was issued in Shushan, the capital. Then the king and Haman sat down for a drink together. But the city of Shushan was thrown into confusion.
What does that mean, thrown into confusion?
We'll talk about all of this after a quick break. All right.
We're back from those messages. Man, what a great sponsor, Jim. Wouldn't you say so? I sure would. Hey, Jim, just so you know, for the rest of the episode, we're not going to say anything when we say Haman, because he's actually sponsoring this episode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're not. Yeah. There.
Welcome to Bible, but not sponsored.
Yeah. Anyways. You got me off my game.
Hey, man, listen here. Boo or not.
First it was Hey Dad, and now it's Hey Man. Right?
Yep.
Dang, things that we cover. Alright. I think, like, intense...
Don't throw trash on the ground. Hey, man, come on.
Okay, alright. I think... Stop it! Stop it!
What?
You keep getting me off my game. Don't. Alright.
It's okay, boo.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, man, let's get this going.
I am feeling the finger right now. God.
Esther taking a long time.
Alright. Oh, one more thing before we get started. This podcast is kind of inspired by another podcast. And I feel like I'll put it down in the show notes. Oh. But I feel like I should give this one podcast some credit. It's called The Bible is Funny. They have a card game. We're not like 100% like them, but we're kind of inspired by it. Our podcasts are very different. They just read the Bible and they make sure to clarify that they don't have anything to say about it except stupid stuff. But we research it. We research it. So, but these guys, I thought they're really funny. It's called The Bible is Funny. I really like them, so I'll put their podcast in the show notes, but just so you know. Yeah,
originally this show was going to be called The Bible is Butterflies.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, they're also on the Ninjas or Butterflies show sometimes, in the very, very old episodes. Oh yeah, you were going through all of the Ninjas or Butterflies episodes, right?
Uh-huh.
Which one's the best one?
Well, it's really interesting to start from the beginning because, like, they don't really know what they're doing with the show, and slowly they're, like, adding things in that are, like, normal in the show now, so they're, like, kind of picking up their, like, thing.
That's cool. It's cool. Well, now we're going to talk about something slightly different. It's called the Bible, and this is called Esther chapter 3. So, it says, Haman, the son of Hamdata, the Agagite. Now, Agagite was the king of the Amalekites. And one thing you need to understand about the Amalekites. Exodus chapter 17, verses 13 through 16. Thus so we're in the Bible when they're all brought out of Egypt, and after the golden calf, they're fighting the Amalekites. And Moses has to hold up the staff and stuff.
Okay.
So thus Joshua defeated the Amalekites, putting their people to the sword. Adonai said to Moshe, "Write this in a book to be remembered, and tell it to Joshua." Listen.
Okay.
Listen to this. "I will completely blot out any memory of the Amalekites from under heaven." Moshe built an altar and called it Adonai is my banner, and said, "Because their hand was against the throne of Yah, Adonai will fight the Amalekites generation after generation."
Oof.
So basically, also in Samuel, Saul is told by God, remember what the Amalekites did to the Israelites. Go defeat them, crush all of their houses, destroy them, kill everybody, don't spare anybody. And that's when he kind of failed because he did like a lot of stuff. Like he took all of their stuff. He looted it.
Yeah.
When God
Didn't
told him
he take like a bunch of horses?
Yeah, and also I think I'm pretty sure that's King Solomon.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Sorry.
Yeah, but he also got the king of the Amalekites, and he put him like right under his throne or something. Okay. He like kept him as a prisoner and like made fun of him and stuff.
Dang.
And Samuel killed him in front of everybody.
Yikes.
Yeah, so Haman was an Amalekite.
Boom.
And okay. God, the hand of the Lord was against the Amalekites for generations. Anybody born to the Amalekites, basically, God says he blots out any memory of them from heaven. So, they are a cursed people. So what Haman did was completely out of impulse. If he had a chance to kill like 90 to 95% of the Israelites, he's definitely going to do it. Right? Hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, who wouldn't? If you were a Amalekite. I mean, not who wouldn't, but, like, yeah. What he did was out of impulse.
Yeah.
So, pour, when they said they were throwing pour for Haman, it's a Chaldean word meaning lot. If you're coming here for good translations of the Bible, like knowing what words say, just don't.
Come on.
We are.
I feel like you do pretty good. Like, you look up the words and try to understand them.
We try.
It's hard because you're reading a CJB Bible.
Yeah.
And it's, it kind of borrows from like not borrows, but it's, it's Hebrew in a lot of the words. They're hard to like understand.
Yeah. Yeah, those Hebrew words. Yeah, they're pretty hard to understand.
Yeah, well, it gets confusing sometimes because like you're so used to hearing these people's names in the Bible. Like you're like, oh, John the Baptist? Nope. Yohanan the Immerser.
Yeah.
And he just sounds like this like hardcore like wrestler. Like he comes in and he just drowns people and he's like 700 pounds.
Yohanan the Immerser.
Like Yokozuna or something.
You just gave me an image.
That's what I always think.
Just
like a luchador.
You did?
I don't wrestle on Shabbat.
Gosh. Wow. So,
yeah,
Haman. So now we're going to talk about Haman's case.
Okay.
Which is built on deception. And this case is followed by a truth, followed by a half-truth, and a lie. The truth is... what?
It reminds me of like two truths and a lie.
That's a good point.
Truth, half-truth, and a lie. Go.
Yeah, okay. So truth. A particular people... Wait. Oh, I'm not going to say what's truth and not. There is a particular people... I mean, whoops. Yeah, I did that wrong.
3, 2, 1. Boop.
A particular people is scattered and dispersed through the Persian Empire. Which one is that? Truth, half-truth, or lie?
Truth.
Alright. Jews did have different laws, but follow most custom of the Persians. Is that true?
Half true.
Jews don't obey the imperial law of the king of Persia.
False.
Yes. So the truth is a particular people is scattered and dispersed throughout the people of the Persian Empire. Half-truth is that their laws were different. And they did have different laws, but they follow like empire laws. And the lie is they don't obey the imperial law of the king of Persia.
Alright.
So it's basically like it's deception. It's a case built on deception.
Sure.
And with around 2 million Jews in Persia,
dang,
Haman thought the king wouldn't want to harm his tax base.
How many people lived in Persia at that time? Do you have a number on that? If there was 2 million Jews, I wonder what their percentage was.
No, but there was lots of different languages, like we were talking about last time. It was a modern-day melting pot.
Sure.
So, Haman offered 330 talents of silver in exchange, so the 2 million Jews wouldn't harm. Huh? Yeah, actually, I did the calculation. It's in today's money. It's $17 million, 96,000 and 668.
Bro, just rolling around with millions of dollars.
So, Haman was like crazy guy. He was really rich, And basically kind of like Elon Musk, what he does is he exchanges his riches for political power.
And the first electric chariot.
Yep.
Yeah. The Haman Tesla.
Haman. Okay. Alright. I don't know what to say. But anyway, with these 330 talents of silver, which is $17 million, 96,668, isn't that suspicious? Just to, like, settle a personal vendetta with this one guy? He's spending $17 million
Wow.
so that he's trying to be super, like, show that, like, he really understands the king. Because he doesn't want this to harm his tax base.
Well, I wish he would try to sell it with me then. That'd be sweet.
Yeah. Would you actually get $17 million to kill 3 million people, though?
No, dude.
Yeah. So, that's pretty suspicious. But also remember, this king was drunk.
A drunkard.
Yes. But, like we were talking in the first episode, kings don't make mistakes. And being drunk doesn't change that.
Ah.
Which is a complete lie, but like in law. So, but just remember Haman's background. What he's doing is out of impulse.
Okay.
Yeah. So, that's all the notes I have for the first chapter.
Nice.
Do you want to go to the second chapter?
I think I'll have to take a rain check on the second chapter.
What? What'd you say?
I'll have to take a rain check on that.
What's that supposed to mean?
Do it at a different time.
Alright, well, thanks for being with me on the podcast today. And
sure.
I have been missing out on saying thank you for everybody that's here. I mean, we could not succeed without everybody that's on here.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it, and I mean, that's all we have, so goodbye.
To all our international friends.
Yes, our people in Sweden, Russia, Canada, mostly in America. Thank you, everybody, and bye-bye.
Shalom.
Oh yeah, Shalomie Homie.